Welcome to Business Avenue, a portal for relevant tidbits for your career and business. My name is Edmond Jomna, and it's exciting to have you join me again on this episode. On this episode, we are going to talk about how to successfully negotiate for a better salary in an interview. So we all know that salary is one of the driving factors why we apply for a job. Okay, so either you are applying for the job for the first time or you want to change job, salary plays a crucial determining factor, if not the only factor. Now, the salary that you get normally is negotiated in the interview process. You get to know how much you will be paid during the interview process. So the employers will throw the ball to the court of the interviewee to propose how much they prefer to take for the job that they are applying for. The first thing to note is that you should know your skill. You should have a high knowledge about the role involved. Salary negotiation is one of the later stages in an interview. It's not just that the moment you walk into the room to be interviewed, they ask you how much you want to take. They will take you through the nitty-gritties of the role involved. Try to ascertain whether you are the best fit person for the role before you get to a stage where they will ask you how much you want to take and negotiate further. So if you don't have above average knowledge about the role, you stand a chance of being kicked out during the initial stages. When you also are much knowledgeable, it gives you room, it gives you confidence and the leverage to be able to demand or prove that you are worth the amount that you are quoting. If you go and you don't wow the employers, they don't feel pressed to give you the amount that you want. And if you have a high level of skill, even if they have not planned to pay you the amount that you are requesting for, they are prepared to compromise because you become indispensable for them. The second thing to note is that you should know the requirements for the role. Every job advertised has its associated responsibilities. So you might have more than it takes to discharge the duty, but all that they are looking for is the responsibilities related or necessary for the job at hand. So let's take accounting for example. We have financial accountants, we have management accountants, we have auditors, we have forensic accountants. So even within the financial accountant, we have various roles. So if the job opening is for a receivable accountant, okay, and as much as you have a vast array of knowledge in various fields, you should concentrate yourself, study, prepare yourself for questions that center around the role at play. You can get a requirement from the job advertised. Okay, try and restructure your CV to highlight the strength that relate to the role being advertised. Okay, once you've been able to know the responsibilities attached to the job from the advertisement placed, you should go further and know the scope of the job. If they say you're going to deal with customers, so you're going to handle the social media role of the entity, you should know how many people you're going to interact with, the number of followers subscribed to their social media handles. That will inform you how deep and weightier the job is. That will inform you to quote an amount, because the heavier the job, the more you expect to be paid. It's logical. Okay, so you can get the scope of the job from their business's website or their financial statements. Okay, so the third factor that propels a candidate to negotiate well for a salary is having a fair idea about the remuneration for the role. You can do so by conducting a research on the market. You can speak to people who are occupying similar roles and in similar industries to the one that you are going to be interviewed for. Okay, so if you are going for a position of an accountant, okay, in an oil company, try and speak to somebody who is also an accountant or has occupied the role of accountant before in an oil-related company. If you don't get somebody in the same industry, you can talk to people who are occupying accountant position in other businesses. It gives you a realistic amount to quote in the interview process. You shouldn't just go in with your expectation. It might be higher or low. Try and be as realistic as possible. The next point is that once you have canvassed for remuneration packages for the role, you are possible to get a range. So let's say for the role that you are going to be interviewed for, if it's a marketing role, from your research, you will get to know that maybe it pays from $5,000 to let's say $10,000. Make sure you quote in the upper limit of the range. So if it is $5,000 to $10,000, try and quote a salary ranging from let's say $8,500 or $9,000 towards $10,000. This is important because you are walking into a negotiation process. So the prospective employer has the right to bid down the amount that you have mentioned. It will be in bad light for you to mention an amount and not be flexible to bring the price down. Okay, rigidity is not a good trait for business. The last point is that you should be ready to walk away. When we say you should be ready to walk away, doesn't mean you should be rude. It means that you should have a base salary that you are willing to take. The least you are prepared to be paid for the job that you are interviewing for. If the employer mentions an amount that goes below it, you still have a certain amount of pride to diplomatically and respectfully decline the amount. Okay? Don't be rude. Don't just get up and walk out of the table. Tell them you're not ready to take that amount. And if you're not ready to compromise and bring the figure up, you should go away. It tells a story of you knowing your worth. It tells a story of you not being desperate. Desperation can be construed to be disloyal. If you settle for something that is below your worth, it has a tendency of you not delivering the job well, because the base salary will come from certain considerations that you have made. Your living style, the expenses that you're supposed to incur in a month to make you discharge the job well. So if you settle for something below, it might cause you to pilfer in the business. It might cause you not to be in the right frame of mind to do the job as expected. If you do everything that we have spoken about, the 5 points, you are on the right path to getting a salary that is befitting of your role and to discharge the job well. Okay. So folks, we'll bring our conversation to an end here. I hope it has been very beneficial to you. Kindly click on the subscribe button to push our channel further. Like and share. If you have any enquiries, do not hesitate to put them in the comment section below or reach us via the information on your screen, and we will be more than glad in addressing them. Join us again on another episode of Business Avenue. Till then, take care of yourself and stay blessed. Adios.